Hello, hello, good evening. Welcome, welcome for another part of Samurai Champloo, episodes 3, 4, and 5. Saw a bunch last night, so I couldn't make it. So now I'm making it tonight. I ended up watching more. The husband and I ended up watching a couple more episodes after that, so I had to circle back. Circle back today on 2 episodes. So let's get into it. It's been a long day. Hope everybody is doing good. All right, so we have episode 3 is called Hellhounds for Hire, but I call it Princess Sadface and the Yakuza. That's what I call that episode. So it starts off with them still traveling to another little city, and Fu is just complaining up a storm. She's just like, I haven't bathed in weeks. I'm so tired. I'm hungry, and they're all starving. The boys end up ditching Fu here at the crossroads. So she's just like, oh man. Ends up where Mugen ends up going to like a cafe, a food place, and he sits down with this like ruggish group of men, and just starts eating their food. And the owner comes, oh, no, 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 please don't come and eat here. You don't know what you're doing. He's just eating the guy's food. So he starts a fight. And luckily, the gang leader of the rival group, we'll call it rival gang, sees him and he's like, nah, come with me, right? So he gets to see the underbelly of what they're doing. And he catches on about them cheating with dice rollers. Back in the day, you could have like underneath tea houses or bookstores or something like that. I even saw it in my Chinese drama, so that's why I know. Uh, you go there and it's a front, like it might say fabrics, but you go and ask for fish and they lead you downstairs, right? And it's a big gambling ring down there. So yeah, they're doing that, and all Mugen wants is some crabs. He's like, I'll go with you if I can just get some crab things. Very single-minded. What can I get out of this situation? He causes a big scene of course, at the cafe, and then Jin ends up arriving at the cafe later on, and the cafe owner is so worried because he's like, please don't start a fight, yada yada yada. So it jumps to dad. He's been gambling, and he gambled all of his assets away, and he'd have to sell his business. But Princess Sadface enters the scene and makes some sad faces. And the gang members are like, ooh, we'll take her and she can pay off your debt. Well, that's going to be fun for Princess Sadface. Yeah, so, there's been an old school gang there, the Yakuza. And another rival gang is coming in. They're trying to ice them out, do dirty dealings, rip people off, that kind of thing. So, yeah, so he loses it all. And then let's see what happens here. So yeah, so Jin goes in there, and they're back. Another group is back there too, and one of the young Padawans, I call him that, of the master. He comes and he's like, "Give me the debt receipt from my dad." Blah blah blah. And I love how Jen is like, I'm going to eat first. Like, bump that. I'm not going to get involved in this situation until I've eaten. Very much about the food. Poor cafe guy. So the rival gang lord, he wants Mugen to take on and help him grow, and be the new bodyguard. So, and then Fu enters the same town as well. And she stopped by like this fortune teller at the beginning of this city entrance. And they're like, oh, I see you're traveling. I see you're traveling with people. You know, where the two guys. She's like, well, tell me. She's like, I don't know, but avoid vases. She's like, vases? What does that have to do with anything? And then she just goes about her, about it going on, but ends up, she's down an alley and some guy backs out and she busts, she busts a vase. And it turns out it was a double cross. And now she's in a brothel and ends up, since the young Padawan stole like the debt note, they went and took Princess Sadface, so she ends up in the brothel as well. Uh, they're both in there. It's so funny because Moo makes an appearance. There she usually like Fu is making angry faces to keep the men deterred. She's like, if you give them an angry face, they're not gonna want to come after you. And then this one guy's like, "Ooh, you're perfect, just what I wanted," kind of thing, right? And she's like, "What?" And he tries to get a little handsy. And so Momo comes out and saves the day. Thank you, Momo. He's like, those are my assets, not yours. Um, so Mugen finds out she's there, but he doesn't come get her. And then Jin is like the bodyguard for the young Padawan. I jumped here because he promised them. He said, well, promise to take care of you, blah, blah, take care of me, whatever. And so they're like, how are we going to get into this brothel? Because, men and everything. So they end up cross-dressing, dressing as geishas, right? And what was so funny is one of the guys says, double-crossing cross-dressers. I can't believe it. So enter in Mugen. He sees Jin and he wants to fight Jin. He's like, that's my guy. And he ends up killing the rival group that he's with. So that's pretty funny. So he switches sides just to get to Jin. Hello, Rio. Thank you. It's all right. It's going to be a short stream, but I really appreciate you stopping by. All right. So that is the end of part 1 of Princess Sadface in the Yakuza, also known as Hellhounds for Hire. And so we jump into Hellhounds for Hire 2, which is the same name but unnecessary deaths. So he's, and Fu sees them and she's like, why do you guys always starting to fight? At the beginning of the first part, they're fighting and now they're fighting again. They just can't help themselves. They're two different worlds colliding, two different temperaments. And so he's like, fate keeps throwing us back together. So I want to finish this. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I am just doing Samurai Champloo, just like a whatever play by play of each episode, how I see it. So noobish, very noobish. So, the Padawan kid, he tries to bring Princess Sadface out, but she's just too busy. I'm telling you, the first part and this part, all she did was mope around. Like she's like, oh, woe is me. I'm never giving up. I'm gonna give up. I'm never gonna get out of here. I'll have to pay my dad's price in the brothel. So she doesn't go with him. Anyways, since Mugen couldn't get to Finn couldn't get to Jin, so he ran off. He's like, F it, I want to do my own thing. You're trying to keep me from my flow with the what's his name? The rival gang member, the rival gang lord. So he leaves, and he ends up coming back because he's okay. I'm jumping right here. So um, the young Padawan ends up coming back to the brothel and killing a guy from the rival gang. And so, they go to the original gang lord that they're trying to ask out. And is like, he killed a member, so you have to pay a price. So they decide to do a dice roll. And so, the rival gang lord's like, I'll make sure that they don't have a dice roll, or, it'll be fixed. And so it's like a life for a life, or he gives all of his gang property to the rival gang lord. So it's just like kind of like a lose-lose situation, but he's trying to save his uh his heir, the young Padawan. So I don't know how Fu ends up getting out. She ends up breaking free. I think it was from her mean face that she made, her angry face that got her in a room, and then she got a blanket and she climbed down the stairs. She's like, F Princess Sad Face. You do get to learn more about Fu's background because, Princess Sad Face asked her, like, she's complaining, like, why are you paying your dad's debt? You don't have to do that kind of thing. Like, you can break free. She's like, no, I'm so sad. I must do it. But you have parents, and you find out that Fu lost her mother, and so she doesn't have a dad either. Kind of orphaned in a way, right? So she ends up taking a taxi, and it ends up exactly where they're having their dice roll off, right? And of course, the one that they hired isn't showing up, right? So they mistake her for the for the guy, and so they get her all out of her brothel outfit and into her normal outfit. I don't know how they know what her outfit is, but so now she's the dice roller for this clash between two rival gangs, right? So, and I actually love this part because she owns it. She's like, got him. This is my game. So she's like, you ready? She's got them between her fingers, and she throws them down, and they bounce off everywhere, like off the pillars and stuff, and they end right in the exact same spot that she needs, and puts the cover over, right? So ends up the leader, right? The gang leader, that the OG gang leader, has to give up his property to the rival gang, but then he ends up um killing himself, which just didn't make any sense to me. But he took the sacrifice and tried to, like, blood breeds more blood kind of thing with revenge. You know, so he decided not to spill any more blood but his own, yada yada. So that was really, really crazy. That was an unnecessary death. And then the other unnecessary death was we had a side switcher, Yamato. He was in the OG gang and then betrayed them to go with a new gang. And he ends up killing the rival gang lord because he's like, oh, they're all just the same, yada yada. So he was free. He was free. Like, I just didn't make sense. But he had this code where he had to fight Mugen. And if you fight Mugen and you're not Jin, you're not going to survive. So he ends up suiciding by fighting Mugen. So that's why I named part 2 Unnecessary Deaths. Yeah, so that's episode 3 and 4 of Hellhounds. That was pretty good, pretty humorous. We just kind of like ran through the episodes last night. I like this, how I'm retitling the episodes, like my own synopsis of of what's going on. So, episode 5, which is the last one we're going to go over, is Artistic Anarchy, which I call it Van Gogh Origins and the Oh My's. If you've seen Samurai Champloo, you'll exactly know what I mean by the Oh My's. So the group can't leave the city. They are broke. Have no money. The ferryman won't give them a break. So they're out. They have to set out to gather some more money so they can leave the city. And what I like about Samurai Champloo as well is that it's like individual little stories of what's going on around them and they're involved in it. So it's just not like story about themselves in this bubble, but you have what's going on in the town around them, what's going on outside of the city, and you get to see kind of like what the world is around them. So I do like that. So they go to a cafe again because they're hungry, and Fu is getting picked up by this guy. I don't know. I don't like how he looks. He's weird looking. He's like very lanky and long fingernails, which is not attractive to me for a guy. And he's like, whatever you want to eat, I will pay for it. You are gorgeous. She's like, all right, awesome. And so she orders like 40 sticks or something or another. And the two guys who had just been sitting there gorging themselves on food drop the plates at his table and are like, yeah, well, you can pay ours as well, and walk out. So Fu's like, don't forget, you need to make us money so we can leave the town, like get to work. And so we find out that Fu is talking to a guy who's like a local artist, and he paints women for a, what do you call it, like a studio, a city studio kind of thing, gallery. So he really wants to paint her. He's like, come, I'll pay you for the session. I think you're just really awesome. I got you in want to get you in a perfect pose for it. And so it jumps to like this another weird looking guy, but you find out he's like a detective and he's undercover trying to figure out what's going on because a bunch of girls, young girls, keep disappearing. So there's like a trafficking situation going on in this town. So you hear more about him and he's like, yeah, he's leading them to the slaughter. And then you get the oh my's. So he's going on about how let me see here. I lost my train of thought. He's just got like the weirdest poses and facial expressions, and like some of the situations he gets himself into, he looks pervier than the actual perv. Oh my god, there's like, I'm jumping ahead, but like there's one scene where he's peeping, like a peeping Tom. So he like cuts a hole in the rice rice paper door, right? And he's looking in all creepily. And then there's another situation where like I think it's Mugen finally gets to the storehouse and he jumps out and he's like naked except for like in a sumo outfit. Just really weird. This guy is really weird for a detective. So he takes her to the gallery showing all the beautiful ladies, and she takes a liking to this painting, which is of koi fish and sunflowers, because she's looking for the sunflower man. So she comments that she really likes it, she appreciates it. He's like, yeah, I'd really like to go overseas, to Holland and all that kind of stuff and start over. So he's painting her, but while that's going on, Mugen is roaming the streets looking for prey, and he robs. So like these three thugs were like beating up this guy, and so he beat them up and robbed them. Turns out that these thugs are the gallery's owner's little hinge-pins, so it kind of ties together to what's going on with Fu. And Jin is walking around town and he sees an older man playing like Chinese checkers. You can call it that. And so he makes a proposition. He's like, if you play with me and win, I'll give you this huge sack of money. I don't know how he knew he needed money, but he did. And he's like, if not, then, you belong to me. You're my property to do as I please. Not in like a weirdo way, but just like, I own you. You're my little minion. And he ends up agreeing to playing these Chinese checkers, and he's really good at it. And you learn more about like Jin a bit. He was like raised in a dojo, and his master always played checkers or chess. What do you even want to call this stupid game? And so always played it. He can never beat him, but he can kind of beat this older guy. And the older guy like is sneaky. He accidentally knocked over the chess plate, and Jin knew exactly where all the pieces were. So that kind of thwarted his plans. And this is so funny because it's outside of the gallery. So again, Jin and Mugen are tied to where food is. She's just like the glue. Fu is the glue for this situation. So begrudgingly now the artist, he starts getting like a moral conscience, but he still paints her because he's just so inspired by her. She's just gorgeous, and he paints her with sunflowers and stuff. We don't see that till later. And then comes in the little thugs, right? And they come and kidnap her, and that's when the detective is looking and peeping Tom detective. So yeah, she gets taken to a storehouse by the water and thrown in I call it like a whiskey barrel, right? She gets thrown in a whiskey barrel. There's other barrels there. I don't know how these women or whatever they are in there are surviving. I was always concerned about the other barrels. I'm like, if she's in this one, then who are in the rest? Are they going to survive? I'm kind of a little bit of a good person there. So that was interesting. So the artist is having like more of a moral conviction because, she's the first one to really appreciate his artistic ability, not just of the female poses. It turns out the gallery's another front where he paints the women, and people, men or whatever they are, come in and they decide who they want to buy, trafficking. So it's almost akin to like art gallery. They have this happen in real life where they go in and they buy this insane piece of art. Like it makes no sense why they spent so much money on it, but it's actually like a money laundering situation where they're actually exchanging money for something else behind the scenes, but the art is the pawn, is the showpiece. Very clever that they figured that out. He's trying to go to the artist guy, this straw slender man, is trying to go to the dock in the warehouse to get Fu out, and you find out that the madame of the, what do you want to call it? I just said it, the gallery wants to get handsy with him, but he'd rather not. He's like, another day, please. Not today. Don't want to be felt up by your old crusty ass. He makes it to the storehouse and she figures it out. So he gets beat almost to death. and thrown. And then Mugen's like, no one's coming after me yet again. I got to figure out where Fu is, because he's asking Jin, have you seen her? No, I haven't. So then it all coalesces there, and they find the artist all beat up. And so he's like, oh, they just took her. They're about to take her away. So you need to hurry. So he's hurrying. And that's when the detective, there's only one barrel when Mugen gets there because it was too heavy to carry. And so Mugen's like, maybe she's in this barrel. And then that's when the detective pops out and is barely naked with his sword. And he's like, oh, I just missed them. Oh, crap, dude, you just missed them. You're too heavy to carry. And so he finally finds the barrels with Fu in it and breaks her free. And the artist comes out and he throws money at her. And it's like, I'm so sorry, conscious of my heart situation. I know I'm rambling on. Hi, hero. Yeah, well, YouTube does those things. I'm just rambling on about 3 episodes of Samurai Champloo. I'm on the last one, episode 5, Artistic Anarchy. I call it Van Gogh Origins and the Oh Mice. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. So they end up getting enough money and the trafficking operation gets busted. It turns out that the chess guy that Jin was battling against is the owner and operator of the gallery of the trafficking situation. So he ends up getting taken in, I think killed actually. So you watched a long time ago. Yeah. This is the first time watch for me on Samurai Champloo. I've watched other ones. My favorite one is Trigun by far. Hello Zach, it's good to see you. Yeah, I'm just wrapping up with the last episode right now. Has some Catholic esoteric message behind it. It could. A lot of animes have esoteric messages in them, either sorcery, like Full Metal Alchemist had a Catholic kind of situation. Yes, this journey to find the sun. So the artist is like, I'm going off now. I'm leaving. I'm going to Holland and starting over like he always wanted to. Now he's free of this entrapment he was in. And it turns out that Fu's painting is in a painting of Van Gogh that he did by himself, like when he ripped off his ear, took a piece of the painting, and there's an Asian woman in the background. So they're trying to do that. Yeah, trying to get that done. Yes, it's a very good show. I'm enjoying it. We end up watching a couple more than necessary last night. So I could have went longer, but this is very long-winded anyways. Yes, this is full of spoilers, not spoiler free. It's for people who've already seen it if they care. So that was it. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and saying hi while I was live. Today was a good day. We had a very good day today. I hope everybody had one as well. We have a very cold storm sweeping through America right now. So everybody's itty bitties are feeling quite cold. We're excited. Hopefully we get some snow. It's a rarity here. But they've closed everything down. So there's no school, city hall's closed. I can't make a complaint. I can't go to the library. Those jerks. Yeah. And then we watched some recap of the inauguration. That was pretty dope. That man is a beast. He's been going and going, and he's like, I have so much stuff I'm gonna do. And yeah, well, that's the difference between you guys in the South. We freak out at like anything below 20. We go, oh no, oh my, we can't survive. Yeah, so he's a beast, man. He's just going everywhere, signing executive orders left and right. And so Melania's outfit, I really didn't like it. I even said Carmen Sandiego like 3 minutes into seeing it, and my husband said, "This looks like Gotham, like she's dressing up as a Gotham character from Batman." And a mobbish look, like mob wife era, but that was a few years ago. But apparently it's classic and timeless, you know. But it really hit her face. I didn't like that. But we have definitely had history change today. So we'll see how the next couple years go. Hopefully no surprises. So yeah, I think that's all I got going on. I'm excited to get some sleep. The cold really wears you out. I don't know how you northerners do it. Just, oh my goodness. And then you get windburned. You can get wind because it's so cold, the air. Get the readiness here, and you can even get it around your lips. Like it looks like you're wearing lip liner. Oh man, I did that to my daughter when we went up north. She was all red in the face. Looked like I put makeup on her. Poor little thing. But we did. I put some petroleum jelly on it. Slap a little jelly on the face. Right as rain. Right as rain. So I am excited. I'm going to be starting something here. I got to get some paper for it, but I'm going to start a sticker album. So if you guys can figure out who this lovely couple is, you'll get a like and a smile. So this is just a cheap photo album, that you can get at Walmart or Dollar Tree. And I'm going to start taking all of the stickers. I have about 100 Hayao Miyazaki stickers of all of his different films and characters. And so I'm going to make it's not journaling, because journaling, inquires. It's like scrapbooking. I'm going to scrapbook my stickers in here, making a little pretty background. So I have to get some like colorful background or something nice and some other stickers just to make it stand out. So then I'm excited about. That's all I got for tonight. Again, hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.